Here are the replays of my climb to D-level max this Duelist Cup with SCARECLAW. The list is largely the same as the one I posted in the deck profile of the video I made earlier about SCARECLAW, so I'll have a link to that, so go check that out now if you want detailed explanations of the deck. I'll go over the slight changes I made after testing at the end, but here is the replay of the biggest combo you can do with this deck. It involves Kashtira, Fender, plus either 2 SCARECLAW names or 1 SCARECLAW name and the Adventure Engine. If you open the Adventure Engine, then you end on a Griff, and you end on then you get to keep the Fender. And if you have this, I'll show you what you do when you open double SCARECLAW. So Fender first, normal the SCARECLAW, get Lightheart. This is the same as the combo I posted in the deck profile. So we'll add the field and add SCARECLAW or Cash, add Visa, Starfrost, pop, special Visas, get the Lightheart back, and then Lightheart. Go into the second one. I already opened up a primitive plan, so I don't get the search, but you still need to do that to get the SCARECLAW Engrave. Then you overlay these two into Draco Sack, because we don't have the Adventure Engine. We're gonna access it this way. Special 2 tokens, and since we have the extra SCARECLAW name already, I'm gonna special that and make SCARECLAW Tryhard, keeping the Visas on the field. Then Tryhard's gonna turn into the defense. The 2 tokens go into Cherubini. Cherubini dumps the Water Enchantress. Then Water Enchantress vanishes, and here we get the Adventure Engine. Get the token. Since we don't want to use Tryhard right now, since it'll lock us into SCARECLAWs for a special summon for the rest of the turn, so we have to discard a card off Adventure first, so we can discard this extra copy of the field spell. Special the Griffin Rider, then add Draco back. Here we'll Tryhard, since we want to keep Visa Starfrost on the field for a reason I'll show later, but because of that, we're gonna have to revive revive the original SCARECLAW name that we normal summoned, then get Reichardt, link into the second Tryhard, because you can do this. We're using the Cherubini, and then get back the Astra, get another Search, doesn't really matter. Special Reichardt, adds Twin Saw, and draw a card. So this is one of the ideal boards. We have 5 cards in hand, so we essentially got our entire field for free. Griffin Rider and SCARECLAW Twin Saw. And the important part of this is obviously this is like a floodgate for all Link monsters for a turn, and it is basically a blackout. You can tribute a SCARECLAW to target 2 cards, and most importantly, because we control
Visa Starfrost,
you can this Twin Saw, instead of destroying the 2 cards, it banishes them instead. So yeah, a blackout that banishes 2 plus a floodgate with a card that's unaffected by basically non-Link monsters. Very, very nice. And shout out to my opponent for sticking around the entire combo and only conceding until I finished. Not a paid actor, by the way. So next game, I opened 2 out of my 4 Kashtira cards, which is not very typical with this hand, but it ends up working out, as you'll see. We race off add Fender, add Fender, normal summon a SCARECLAW, and get Impermed. And normally this would be a little awkward, because my only play really would be to summon Reichardt normally and make a Tryhard using the Fender normally. But because I have the Kashtira Fender already in hand, I can actually just banish the Fender in hand to summon Kashtira SCARECLAW. And then I can summon the Reichardt to draw to add Twin Saw and get the draw early, and we draw into Foolish Barrel, which is like the best card in the deck right now because that gets us a Water Enchantress into the grave, which adds Rite of Iron here, and now we get the Adventure Engine online. Hard to do the Draco back as always, but that means I can just get the Griffin Rider immediately. And here I'm gonna go into Tryhard right now to make room. And then Tryhard, bring back Acro and add Astro. I'm gonna special summon Astro. If I have a setup with Adventure Engine, I always go for summon all 5 monsters on field. A lot of people are liking playing SCARECLAW as a blind second deck, which it's fine, but just a board like this is like something that is like a good board that I typically try to go for. This is really insane. Like, I would say this is like almost as hard to play through as like a Kashtira Rise Heart, which I know it sounds like a wild take, but right now this is like a SCARECLAW Tryhard. You see it's at 4,800 attack. Nothing can really run it over easily, and it's unaffected by basically any monster on the field that's not a Link monster. But then you have SCARECLAW Twin Saw, which, on top of destroying 2 cards, floodgates your opponent from using Link effects. So really, your opponent, with this setup, you have a Tryhard on the field that's basically immune to whatever the hell monsters effects your opponent wants to use. And on top of that, because I go for the 5 monster zones in the setup, they can't even kaiju the Tryhard. They need to be running like Lava Golem or Sphere mode, which is very uncommon in order to effectively out Tryhard. And other than that, this is like, you have an Omni Negate too, you have a Fenrir backup. Like, these aren't really used to stop your opponent. Like, these aren't like, say, a part of a feud 5 negate board. They're just so that to make sure your opponent can further not kill your Tryhard, which they definitely will not be able to, like 99% of the time. And our opponent's on Swordsoul. So if they open no non-engine, then they pretty much can't do it with most decks. Summon Ecclesia, it's whatever, get Moye. And then Moye gets a token if my girl and Moye are both drowning. I'm gonna Fender away the Moye, and they have a Heavenly Dragon Circle, which they can use to add Long John Silver. Again, none of this is really that threatening to me. On the normal summon of Taya, I'm just gonna Twin Saw the token and Taya. They're gonna Duster me. Nice bait, but that's not gonna work. And we even get the Draco back onto the Adventure token. And then the last card is Tactics, which here you can use the Griffin Rider, since literally they had nothing else that could threaten Tryhard, so you can just hold the Griffin Rider for that long. So here are I had a couple examples of like Cash is like a very free matchup for SCARECLAW on Master Duel, and it has little to do with the deck itself and more to do with the players playing Kashtira for some reason. So anyway, I have Book of Eclipse, and this is an FTK against Cash anyways, but I figured I could imperm the Pathfinder, and they put them on really have nothing. It's not like this is a hand trap, so it doesn't play into Thrust either. It makes them use an infinite impermanence, so, you know, if they I don't know if they ran Book of Eclipse, but if they did, that was helpful too. And now they have full combo, so you just skip past and let them do their thing. Although, look at what they do. Special Fender, right? That's not the standard play. Fios is on Fender to get Ogre. Ogre will get Preparations. That's not the standard play. Go into Cash Shang, special Rise Heart, banish 3. Banish my 2 Adventure cards. It's a little annoying. They're gonna use Pressure Planet Razo to just pop a card, just pop the Fender off the Shang for some reason, without any benefit. Oh yeah, they're gonna. This is the most convoluted way to do the full Cash combo I've ever seen in my life. Where's the Big Bang? Wait, why did you rely on the Brave Soul to take Material off Shang? Why just to use Birth? If you kept this Birth in hand, they would have won. But well, they wouldn't have won, but it would have been in a much better position. As of right now, I'm just gonna Book of Eclipse them and summon 2 SCARECLAW monsters. They're gonna preparations bring back Tear Cache. I don't really care. Why did you banish Tear Cache? Why didn't you summon something that might have actually done something on field, like I don't know, a unicorn or whatever? And anyways, Fortune Tune is gonna attack into the cache, take 1k, and we're gonna go downward into Zeus. Yeah, and their entire field is gone. I have no plays. I have no follow-up. I just have a Zeus. Let's see if they can beat a single Zeus over the course of however many turns. There's the birth. So that checks the Zeus. Imagine if they had a second birth in hand. Just imagine if they had a second birth in hand for next turn after this one. Just imagine. So I turn draw Visa Starfrost. Excellent draw. Excellent draw while I control Zeus. I have to set Book of Eclipse now. And hope our opponent whiffs, which they do. And draw into a Fender. Just the most amazing draws while I have a Zeus on the field. Just excellent. And yeah, our opponent is gonna summon Pathfinder. They have no more targets, so they already used it, so they're gonna just end the duel themselves. They've seen enough, I've seen enough of that duel too. So obviously when you draw Book of Eclipse versus Cache, only a second, it's broken. But what happens if you don't? Our opponent opens full Cache combo with a birth. And they're gonna add Fields, and I drew every single Kashtira monster in my hand. Literally every single one. I can't even use Fender's ads effect if I wanted to. So yeah, this is we can fast forward. I'm pretty sure they had a double Arise Heart set up. If they had double Arise Heart, I would have potentially been in a tougher position, even though I opened double Fender, so I actually might have been able to play through that. But this is the standard board that the Kashtira ends on. Okay, this board sucks. Okay, I'm gonna show you why. So they're gonna pointer. First of all, I've been a pointer like 5 times. I've never lost a single game I've gotten a pointer in. I feel like this card is not worth running as thrust target. Like this is so you have to like rely on being able to full combo after you get hand trap in order for it to do what you want. Otherwise, if you get stopped by the hand trap but you have a pointer and then yeah, you can see their hand, you might be able to stop them, but your field sucks too. So I just don't really feel like this card is worth, especially being so bad going second. And they can attach it onto the Riser. So now it's 2 material. It can almost trigger. Almost. Anyway, normal summon a special Fender. They go into a Rise Heart. Okay. Enter battle phase. Attack. Main phase 2. Go Zeus. Yeah. That don't do that board. Okay. Don't make a 1 material Arise Heart and trigger Shang. Like you can do one or the other. Don't do both. Then you literally just lose the special summon any Kashtira monster. So I'm gonna now I can use Foolish to dump Water Enchantress. By the way, this Zeus should be an attack. I don't know why I put in defense. If it was in attack, it would be harder for them to make a Zeus like counter 2. So yeah, I saw they had Maxi in hand, but I'm willing to give them 1 draw to get my Griffin Rider set up. So yeah, you can Maxi all you want, get Adventure Token, normal summon, get the Draco back, and then I'll add the Griffin Rider, dumping the Drake, go back onto the Adventure Token, and get my SCARECLAW cash back. Thank you, Appointer. Draw phase to Maxi, and on our opponent's main phase, we're gonna summon the Griffin Riders to limit them to 1 draw. Right. Kashtira Ogre that they revealed they had. We're gonna use Ogre's effect to banish. Now they should get rid of my Visa Starfrost right here because that's the only one that they revealed. Or they banished a Rykard for some reason. Attacking the Zeus, main phase 2, summon a Rise. I'm okay with this. Just make a Zeus and I'll negate it. So instead they make a Draco Sack, which is I guess I'll negate that too. Yeah, thanks bro. Nice. Yeah, if you just want to grind ladder in cash format, like any deck can just put 2 Fenders and a Brave Soph in their deck and a Rise Heart in their X deck, and they can literally break every like 90% of cash boards that Master Duel players make on ladder. It's actually like so bad. So enough of cash. Let's move on to a good deck. And so here we open double Kashtira names. Once again, this is gonna pay off in the most random way. Fender gonna get ogred. This is possibly the worst play you could ever do. You ogre the Fender. Did you know that I could Fender for Fender and then special Defender again? And it appears they don't have Ash, so this Adventure Engine is gonna go hard. And this is just the standard combo that you've seen me do a few times already by now. Summon Griffin Rider, get the Draco back, summon Lightheart, get the Reichphobia, add a SCARECLAW name since we already have a Starfrost. You kill the Lightheart, summon it back, summon that back the Lightheart, make a second Lightheart, get this for follow up. Special the Acro, go into Tryhard, summon back the Acro, get Reichard, special Reichard, draw add Twin Saw, draw Max E, excellent. And our opponent, standby phase, are gonna Max E and they're gonna chain Pretty Memory, so and they discard Brow, so this is normally this would be a great opening by our opponent, except that they're facing out a Tryhard, and they also got their Purrely banished from the Fender. I don't know why they imperm the Wandering Griffin Rider. This Tryhard is stopping them from doing any Zeus lines and any Happy lines. I don't know why they would think that. Anyways, so the Fender gives us a free draw. It does nothing for them. Let's activate Street and activate Friend Purrely. Why would you do this? You know I have Twin Saw. Why would you just give me another target to Twin Saw for free off the... Like what they really should have just activated my friend Purrely first. That way I wouldn't be able to kill it with Twin Saw. But since they've summoned both Fender and Stray Street, I have my pick of what to pop along with my friend Purrely. That's just, I don't... This guy ogre the Fender. I shouldn't be questioning their motives. They're beyond my understanding. They summon us another Purrely, and I'm just gonna banish Twin Saw so they can't go into some random like Nightmare Unicorn or Nightmare Beats. Nightmare Sword doesn't even do anything. I don't know why I'm scared of. They're just gonna make a big Noir while giving me a million cards on their Maxi. Take my Raid Self, that's completely fine. Sack off their Fender to get the 5th material on Noir, and make a Noir. And yeah. What? Who do you think's gonna win? How many cards is this? 1, 2, 6, 12, 14 cards versus one fat caddy boy. And I'm gonna add another card to my hand, Reichard, special the Reichard, and get the SCARECLAW Arrival. Our opponent is scared to death. They did not activate Noir a single time, and you know what? That's gonna cost them since they're gonna get White Woman. And I turn that to attack and turn the defense for the extended BM. I didn't mean to do that. I just sometimes you forget your own monster's effects. But anyway, we have a Astra and SCARECLAW Cash, so this is like 4 attacks on Tryhard plus like Underworld Goddess plus a SCARECLAW. Yeah, that's like 20,000k damage right there. This is by far the best game I played in the Duelist Cup Stage 1, and well, partly is because you see I opened 0 engine, 0 SCARECLAW cards, which is not ideal. So all I could really establish is Griffin Rider dumping Call by the Grave, because I think Call by the Grave is the weakest disruption. So we have Griffin, Maxi, Ash Blossom, and Book of Eclipse, which is like, it's alright, it's guaranteed stop our opponent, but also I don't have follow-up, so I can't really kill them on next turn. Opponents reveal there on Runick, which is this is a particularly bad hand into Runick, because if I can't kill them on next turn, they're just going to accumulate advantage over the course of several turns, and I need to really advance my game plan. I hear they dump Sacred Tree, the God combo. I'm like fuck, you know. That's all I really gotta say. I want to prevent them from at least getting Fountain. They do get the Mo Cricket, and I want to you have to negate the Mo Cricket here. It's just you can't just let them get like Camellia plus Naturia Sunflower. That's just not okay. And here they have Tip anyway, so they do have Fountain, and as soon as Runick player accesses Fountain, it's gonna be you're in for a long game. Fortunately, we have the Adventure Engine, and the Adventure Engine actually plays really well into the Runick cards, such as here. If they don't have a Runick Destruction, I can just keep adding Wandering Griffin Rider every turn. Equip Draco back to the Adventure token, and special the Wandering Griffin Rider. So now I have a bounce for your Fountain, and I have a Griffin Rider on the field to negate at least one possible card per turn. Except it's going to negate none because they have Freezing Curse, and Freezing Curse is going to let them draw 3 off the Fountain. And here we go. Next, they're going to shotgun the Fountain onto the Draco back, so I can't bounce the Fountain. Then I'm going to normal summon. They're going to max C. So that's the end of my turn. There's 0 chance I can kill them through this, as they reveal that they have another Runick monster anyways, and they summon a Hugin to get to discard a second Sacred Tree in hand. Jesus Christ, bro! And they're gonna get the Camellia, and they get this another Fountain. And at the very least, I can say I at least have a Griffin Rider on field, and a Book of Eclipse to potentially shut down a Hugin on my turn. But they're gonna Camellia, and I have to negate with the Camellia. And they actually drew the I've never seen a Runick Naturia player literally open all 3 Sacred Trees in hand. I think their hand was like 3 Sacred Trees plus like a couple Runick spells, and they just discarded 2 and set the other one. The rarely used on-field effect of Sacred Tree to get they still get the Mole Cricket out of this, which is actually really annoying. Now they're gonna be able to use their Mole Cricket to get Camellia plus to get double Camellia, because they already triggered its effect. So I guess they don't want Sunflower because they don't have a Battle Fade. It's Dugars, and here's where Book of Eclipse really sucks. Because Dugars, they're 100% going to use the effect to draw 2. So I could stop Dugars, but then they would draw 1 at the end phase anyways and keep a card in hand. So they get the same amount of cards at the end, they just see 1 less Upstart Goblin. Which is, like, if that was Book of Moon, this game would have been over at this point. But instead, they get the draw in the end phase. Here, I'm gonna Faithful Adventure once again. They have an Naturia Blessing, which they're gonna use to revive the... At this point, they're out of Sacred Trees, so their Camellia actually does nothing. So I have no need to fear the Camellia anymore. I dumped the Visa Starfrost. I'm just gonna dump Sunflower, because I think that's the only target they have left. I'm gonna summon Griffin Rider. This should be an attack. I don't know why I put this in defense. I guess I was greedy trying to go for the bright card draw, but I already have 3 defense digital monsters. This is not needed. And of course, they're gonna draw a second Freezing Curse. That's what they drew off the Book of Eclipse. So because of that, the Sunflower comes back, and then they're gonna draw off the Fountain. I know last card in hand is Fountain, so at least they don't have anything relevant beside from their hand outside of 3 draws. Going to Lightheart, and that's gonna trigger the Mole Cricket, which they don't have any more targets to summon off Mole Cricket either. So none of these material monsters do anything. They're out of engine. Like you really. It's like insane to see in the board state where your opponent resolves Fountain 3 times, and then resolves like 2 Sacred Trees, and you're still in this game. Because if you are, then that's when this deck starts running out of gas. Since they have no more ways to do anything relevant with their engine, since there's like nothing to summon off Mole Cricket, nothing to summon off Camellia, and they have to rely on hard drawing blessings, which is, I mean, it's a Runick deck, but also because it's not searchable, it's hard. You can't really rely on that. And then they really don't have a way to end the game outside of trying to deck you out. Like here, I activate Reichphobia, and then they Mole Cricket, summon another Mole Cricket, because that's all they can summon out of their deck. And then Printed Plan Reichphobia has an effect. Nobody knows about the secret effect of Reichphobia. That was a misplay. They 100% should have just activated Destruction on the search effect, because they don't know that I can just pop a monster. I can just pop anything of 3 or more defense position monster on the field. So they just let me get a monster for free. And I'm gonna summon both my monsters, and they're gonna Smiting Storm me and go put me out to 5 cards in deck. And here's where the Griffin Rider misplay came in, because now I just lost. They get to keep the Mole Cricket on the field for no reason. At the very least, I get to make Tryhard out of this. They seem to be out of Runick spells. So Tryhard get back Acro, and this is my last search target, the Reichheart. I don't even summon it because I have nothing. Both my spell traps, SCARECLAW spell traps are banished. They're gonna Naturia Blessing back the Camellia, and Camellia will send a Blessing. That was a misplay, they were out. Use the Naturia Sacred Tree, get Max C, yes, get Max C, and activate Runick Fountain. This one I have 3 cards in deck. I'm gonna use the effect to summon Astra. Apparently I had 1 more search target, so I bring myself down to 2 cards in deck. Summon Lightheart just because it can attack. I think they banished my SCARECLAW. Cash, yeah, unfortunate. So now we go in, and best I can do is clear the board, since I can only attack twice with Astra. And yeah, they have to blank 1 turn. If they blank on 1 turn, then we win, because then obviously they're dead on board. They have to exactly draw the right cards to deck me out with 2 cards in deck, which they didn't. So yeah, that's the longest I've ever stayed in a Runick game and still managed to win. You usually, if you're in that long, that means the Runick player has like 10 times your cards, but you know, sometimes sometimes they run out of gas before you do. Right, so here's a game with a standard opening hand, 3 non-engine plus 2 SCARECLAW names. Just what you want to see. This is just going to standard combo. Lightheart, add field spell, add Visas, pop, Lightheart special itself, relink Lightheart, get a second planet for follow-up. Special, the second SCARECLAW name. Go into Tryhard, revive. Acro is the one you want to end on turn 1, because it's the only one that does something that gives Tryhard an effect that works on your opponent's turn, because the other 2 just give piercing and extra attacks, which like don't matter turn 1, but Acro at least gives attack. So we summon Rideheart, special Rideheart, add Twin Saw, and then set 2. So we have the Twin Saw, Blackout plus Floodgate, and 3 non-engine, which is very nice. Our opponents, I'm gonna Shotgun Max the into the standby phase. Our opponent's on Traptrix, and yeah, this is going first against trap decks. If your deck that plays a card like Twin Saw is very nice. Our opponent's just gonna make Sarah, and they're under Maxi, so they just set 4 and don't want to continue any further. And I'm gonna Twin Saw, pop 2. Unfortunately, Traptrix, I popped 2 useless holes that wouldn't have done anything anyways, because I already have a Tryhard in the field. And our opponent, fortunately, we missed the Compulse, so the Tryhard goes back. And then that triggers Sarah. This is a misplay. I should have chained. I should chain Twin Saw to the Compulse, since obviously it works on either player's turn. Then it would just stop the Sarahs completely. Instead, I like to Ash, and Ash plays into a potential Gravedigger's Trap hole that they could have. Fortunately, they didn't have it, so never punished, but really I should have just used the Twin Saw. And I'm gonna play a second plan over just to get a Reichardt special, actual special Reichardt. And so he adds Arrival as an extender, and we get an extra draw since there's 3 defense edition monsters. I attempt to pop the back row since we control 3 defense edition monsters on the field. And they actually had the extender in hand. They Arachna Campbell to protect their back row, and it's going to trigger Sarah, and they're going to set Holy Utea. And the only way this could be an issue is if the last card is a trap in hand, and they have the foresight to keep a trap in hand, because knowing they would trigger Arachno Kampa to set Holy Utea to keep them alive, which, you know, if they did, then they're a better player than I wouldn't have seen that line in hindsight. And we have 2 level 3s, so in fact the best way to bait out back row is like actually just go into Cherubini, Luigi Cherubini, dump the water enchantress, like go into your Avenger package. And here we get Right and Faithful Avenger special, another SCARECLAW name that we drew into to get Draco back, and then Faithful Avenger, add Griffin Rider, dump Draco back. And they had no response at this point, so yeah, they're dead. We have Griffin Rider for a negate and Draco back as a bounce going second. Like, that's insane. If you ever get this off, your opponent's tired board is broken. So bounce back to Sarah, so since we have to negate for the last trap anyways, and Holy Tea appears to not be activatable. Summons Tryhard. I'll bring back Astra to add SCARECLAW, Cash, Arrival back, Belome, and then special SCARECLAW, Cash. This way, Astra gives an additional attack for every defense bitch SCARECLAW monster I control, since we control 3. Tryhard can attack 3 times, and Balloon gives piercing. So yeah, this is a game. Just attack with Tryhard once, then attack with Tryhard again, and attack with Tryhard a 3rd time. So this game, I'm gonna drop the Maxi, and our opponent's on tier. This is actually probably the hardest game of all the replays you'll see, besides the Naturia Runick one, because everyone knows Tearlaments is strongest. But anyway, they're just gonna add Meta Noise and set 2 and activate. Why are you running Water Enchantress in tier? Do you know you normal summon a Rhino Heart, right? You know you have to normal summon a Rhino Heart, right? And use its effect. So we're gonna use Raid Soft, get SCARECLAW cached, activate Faithful Winter, special summon Fender, and that's gonna get Meta Noise as expected. They're gonna dump a Rhino Heart so that they can dump Sharon, and then Rhino Heart will dump us Tearlaments cache. They are cooking way too hard to go into a Kaleido Heart. If you think I'm on cache, which I after normal summoning Fender, you should. Why do you go Kaleido Heart? Anyway, it doesn't matter because they open Solic anyways. So Solic for my Light Heart, and that's gonna send Happiness, and then they're gonna be able to make a Kit. So Kit add Happiness back, and well, that's the end of their disruption. So we can special summon to go into Tryhard and activate Tryhard. They're gonna Halfness, but they can't really hit anything off the Halfness, so it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, sure, they can add back the Meta Noise, I suppose, but that's the end of their disruptions. Well, now I'm gonna summon Astra, go into SCARECLAW, Tryhard number 2, Tryhard, bring back Astra, add Rykard. I'm gonna special the Rykard to get the Arrival, and then draw a card, draw into Faithful Adventurer. Go into my 3rd Tryhard, not a once per turn anyway. I just want to get SCARECLAW, Astra, and SCARECLAW Balloon on the field. So I had to do it 3 times. I wanted the Rykard Surge as well. And I'm gonna activate a Water Enchantress just to get it out of my deck and get it right for follow-up on the next turn, because I can't use it because SCARECLAW Tryhard locks into SCARECLAWs. Arrival back the Kashtira, and then this will just attack over their entire field. Unfortunately, I'm 1 monster short of killing them. Just 1 single monster. And this leaves them at 800, but we do have Twin Saw set, and this is activate Rite of Artemis here. Okay, so get the token, and they're gonna use Faithful Winter. I'm just gonna Twin Saw both the token and that. And because they use right now, I know I'm not scared because they can't use Rhino Heart anymore. Why are you playing Adventure in tier? What are you doing? So here's the finalized list I used for Duelist Cup. I finally pulled my copy of Raid Soft, so it's been very nice having just the 3rd copy of Fender. And most of this is the same as the deck provided earlier, so if you want detailed explanations, again, check that video out. The main changes are I swapped Book of Moon for Book of Eclipse, just because Book of Eclipse is a lot better going 2nd. Not particularly against Kashtira, since against most Kashtira players I play against seem to be bots, and they don't make any boards besides like that awful Trigger Shang plus the 1 material Rise Hard board, and Book of Moon would already beat that board. But yeah, assuming I'm playing against better opponents, Book of Eclipse would be a lot better going 2nd. And I haven't felt as bad about it being worse going 1st, since this deck is actually honestly pretty decent going 1st. Like you'd be surprised how often Twin Saw Tryhard just gets you there, and if you have any other non-engine on top of that, like just the Book of Eclipse as like even if your opponent gets a draw at the end, like it honestly doesn't matter. So I think I would prefer Book of Eclipse over Book of Moon in this slot. Although another option is potentially Droll, since Book of Eclipse is not too good against Purrely matchups, and if I go 2nd, I don't draw Imperm, it's a little rough. It's also both this slot is like Sucks versus Lab, like there's nothing to do. Lab is the hardest matchup for this deck. One time I got eradicated for 5 spells against Lab. Now that was just fun. But yeah, maybe you could try to have something better against Lab in this slot. Well, I don't even know what you would what I would consider putting in the slot, because then you also sacrifice your cash matchup in that case, and I don't want to do that. But yeah, this is like the main flex spot of the deck right now. So, and again, as for the extra, the important stuff is a rank 3 Zeus package for double SCARECLAW, the Draco Sack, and the Cherubini to dump the Water Enchantress, a Rise Heart to punish bad cash players, 2 Light Heart and 2 Tri Heart at least, and Link Spider for turning the Adventure token into an effect monster that you can use to make Tri Heart. The Alsa I never made. Theoretically, you can take your opponent's Fender, but I've never done that play in my life. I've never summoned this. The SCARECLAW Tryhard, I've only summoned the third one once, ever, and that was that one game against Tier, which I might not have needed to do that if I managed resources properly, but you know what, it just having the third Tryhard makes it easier, like, so that you don't punish yourself. It's not like the extra deck space is important, but you also don't need to spend the UR for that. 2 is fine. Underworld Goddess is also like, it's kind of win more. You don't really ever get to a point where you summon 4 and Goddess is better than Tryhard. This is like just to look pretty as a royal rare in my extra deck, honestly, and to like solve the problem against Purrely when they just try to sit on a Nor, but that's not really a problem because you can just run it over usually. And Baron is I don't really make this very often. When we get Vicious Astral out, the fusion, this will come up more, but right now there aren't very many lines to make Baron. But yeah, if you have some a couple thousand gems to throw into a random secret pack, and if you want to play a Visa's archetype that's not the cringe ones like Tearlaments or Kashtira, you know, go. This deck's perfect.